What is up, homies? Welcome back to another trailer reaction from Heroes Reforged. It is that time for Spider-Mans. All the Spider-Mans, or maybe just one, we don't know, nothing. Before we get into the trailer reaction, I want to let you guys know that we are doing a reaction series for Squid Game currently that is available on our Patreon. You can also go down to the description below and check out our merch store. You might be seeing something dropping for the holidays soon. Stay tuned. Bookmark the page. We did everything in our power to stay off the internet while we went to a screening of Encanto. So far, so good.
Loved it.
So far, so good. Nothing spoiled for me.
Encanto was
Encanto
great.
was fantastic.
Spoilers did not happen. California forever. And goodbye.
Spider-Man forever. Goodbye. Stick around after the reaction video to hear our thoughts and talks and stuff like that. If you're new here, just stick around after.
You guys ready to watch this?
I've been ready, Adam.
All right, here we go. Godspeed, boys.
The trailer for the trailer.
Trailer
okay, well, I guess I don't need to watch the trailer now.
I feel like I already saw too much.
Ever since I got bit by that spider, I've only had 1 week where my life has felt normal.
Oh, poor guy.
That was when you found out.
Oh.
Nah.
I love MJ.
When you botched that spell where you wanted everyone to forget that Peter Parker's Spider-Man,
Everyone.
we started getting some visitors.
Uh-oh.
Oh, so the spell is botched. Okay.
This all checks out.
Universe.
Okay.
From Sam Raimi's world. From Mark Webb's world.
You're not Peter Parker.
Is that Iron Man tech?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, what was your name again?
Dr. Otto Octavius.
Oh.
Wait, no, seriously, what's your actual name?
Amazing.
Uh-oh.
There are others out there. We need to send them back. So, Scooby-Doo this crap.
You know, all this is kind of your mess. I know a couple of magic words myself, starting with the word please.
Please. Scooby-Doo this crap.
All right, MJ.
You're flying out into the darkness.
Oh boy.
To fight ghosts.
What do you mean?
They all die fighting Spider-Man. It's their fate.
What?
So these are all...
I'm sorry, kid.
Oh, okay.
Me too.
Don't.
Is he gonna try to save them?
Yeah.
There isn't. They're a danger to our universe.
You're not gonna take this away from me.
Yo.
Whoa.
Okay.
You're struggling to have everything you want.
Oh my
The world.
God.
You choose.
There's the lizard.
There's Sandman.
Wow.
I can't save everyone.
Whoa.
This is very reminiscent of some Sam Raimi stuff.
Oh my God.
What's happening?
They're starting to come through, and I can't stop them.
Everybody?
Coming through?
Is
What?
everybody coming through?
Exclusively in movie theaters. Tickets on sale November 29th.
Spider Monday.
Shut up, narrator.
Wow.
Get your tickets on
Wow.
Spider-Man. Yeah, I'm
At
rewatching it
this
too.
rate, I got one question answered for me, which was, is the Alfred Molina we saw in the last trailer, that Doc Ock, is he the same one from Spider-Man 2? And before you say no, because he died, I was going to say, well, they could have retroactively made it so that Doc Ock was saved out of the water by like
never
the Green
see
Goblin,
him.
who was, we see him. You know, we see him die cinematically drowned, but then like there's no body afterwards of like a drowned man.
There's no
So I'm-
absolute confirmation. Right.
Correct. And so I was wondering, I'm like, and also Green Goblin, Norman Osborn, who I assume is going to be the Willem Dafoe version. Like, is that our Willem Dafoe from Spider-Man 1? Who, you know, he was impaled by the glider. But again, like the comic books, he healed from that. He came back from that. And I, as a young man watching this,
I guess the one thing that you can argue against that is that he had a funeral scene in that movie.
Right.
Correct. But here's the thing. That was all fakey in the comic books, exactly like that, where he even brought his body. I know the whole thing. Listen, guys, what I'm saying is when I was a 15-year-old kid watching Spider-Man 1 and then the Spider-Man movies in theaters, I was already reasoning how they could bring these villain actors back through comic book shenanigans. So watching the last trailer with Alfred Molina, I was like, is that our Alfred, or is this another variant in a multiverse scenario? Doctor Strange answered it. He goes, all of these guys died fighting Spider-Man. It is their fate. And that apparently made Peter Parker, Tom Holland, pause and go like, well, then I don't want to fight them. Like, he's going to try to save them.
I don't want to be responsible for all these people dying.
Which is kind of classic Spidey. I think if Tobey Maguire Peter knew, hey, if you go fight Alfred Molina, if you go fight Willem Dafoe, they'll die. He would have had a moral conundrum about it. So that was a great moment in the trailer that's giving us some answers, but also more questions, which was fun. So
I have a feeling that these characters are going to be alternate versions, not necessarily Sam Raimi's Spider-Man, not necessarily Andrew Garfield's villains. I have a feeling that they have the freedom to bring in a version of Dr. Octopus from a universe that's very similar to Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man. So there's nothing stopping them from doing that. I feel like we need to pay special attention to Dr. Octopus. If they were going to bring in the Tobey Maguire Doc Ock, I feel like he would have been, his costume should have been almost spot on to let us know, yes, for sure, this is this character from that, because we have no other point of reference besides the costume from that character coming up. And it's super important. And in this costume he's got on, it almost looks like he has Stark Tech on. He's got these weird John Lennon round glasses and like kind of like emo down hair. So I'm not gonna say that that's Tobey Maguire's Doc Ock. I'm gonna say that's a different Doc Ock.
Well, I think also you look at Jamie Foxx, and his design from the Amazing Spider-Man 2 and in this trailer is very different. You could argue that, like you're saying, it could be a Electro from another universe where he just happens to look like Jamie Foxx as well, but he's a different character.
Yeah. Exactly.
Or it's them taking creative liberty and saying, we don't have to do a carbon copy of Jamie Foxx's look from that movie. We can do a little bit of our own spin on it. But I do like, I was going to say, I do like the Doc Ock that he has. He seems to get some sort of like technical upgrade in this movie. Yeah. And then we see 2 shots of the Green Goblin. One where he looks straight out of Sam Raimi's movie. And there's a second shot where he's like, he has a hood. You can see his face and his armor looks a little bit different. So maybe these characters get some sort of like costume change or upgrade throughout the movie.
Or I think it could be just different versions of those characters coming through.
Like,
Have we not learned from Spider-Verse, you guys? Have we not learned from Spider-Verse?
It's what Doctor Strange says. That's what I was saying. I think I think you're right, Augustine. There are different universe versions. I think the only tricky thing is that if we really are getting Spider-Men in this, with Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire rumored to have some cameos in it, I feel like they might actually be the true versions that we saw in the previous movies, and they might make some kind of reference to that. Like, my Doc Ock died, my Electro disappeared. Like, maybe they show up to help this Peter because they're like, we have some experience, and Doctor Strange called on us, and that's us. So maybe they'll make a reference to it. I also think my theory on why Doc Ock and Electro and everybody looks different is kind of the simplest explanation, which is I think that Marvel Studios and remember, these are the same visual development artists that have been working on the MCU since Iron Man 1. I think they knew that they were going to do these characters, and they were like, we didn't love what Sony did with Electro. We didn't love what Sony did back in 2004 with Dr. Octopus. Here's what we would do, because you guys were talking about Doc Ock's glasses and hair, and I'm like, that looks kind of more like the comics in a way. It's almost like they took Alfred Molina and they're going a little closer to, because the MCU as a whole has been able to get a little bit closer to comic accuracy when they can versus superhero movies from the early 2000s and late 90s. We had Blade, we had the X-Men movies, we had movies that were a little embarrassed to get full color with it, so they were like, it's a little slicker, it's a little cooler. And Alfred Molina's hair was never full on like Doc Ock. Like in the comics, it's like the dorkiest hair that he has.
Right, he's got like that Caesar haircut. He has that mop, Hector, let's all do it. Can we all do it? Can we all do it?
My hair will do it.
Top, from the 60s, like he has that like this is the great Doc Ock, like Spider-Man, that's
Hector,
that's
yours
Doc
is the best
Ock right
one.
there.
Yeah.
Let me see if I can. It's a little bit like Spock.
He's got that Bill Gates. He's got that strong Bill Gates hair.
Yeah, I'm
That's
doing something like
amazing.
there's a little Eddie. There's a
Well,
little
we know
Eddie
what your
Munster
Halloween
right
costume
there.
is going to be next year.
Spider-Man. Yeah, I can only do this trick while I have this hair, and then I'll eventually lose it. But this is what he looks like in the comics. And I think the MCU artists were like, visual development artists were like, let's actually do that from the comics. Like, let's actually, go there.
Yeah.
But it's interesting too, because it's still bringing back the actors. Because number one, you're going to get the familiarity, the movie familiarity. But number two, I also think that like Kevin Feige is a smart guy and recognized actually Jamie Foxx was an excellent choice for Electro. But maybe Kevin Feige didn't love the decisions they made in that movie. So I feel like it's almost like the MCU really flexing and really being like, here's what we would do with the exact same actors.
Right,
Can you
exactly.
imagine?
Here's how we would have done it, right?
Can you imagine if there was a Batman, if Christopher Nolan was like, I'm bringing back Arnold Schwarzenegger to play Victor Fries, but this time it's for real. Like, we would be like, oh shit, that would
Nolan's Mr. Freeze would be amazing.
Exactly. And I'm like, and in some universe, Arnold could have done that, but it's just, these actors were in different Spider-Man movies.
So question is, how, after seeing this, do you feel like you've seen too much?
No,
because
they said
we already knew that these villains were going to be in it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Good.
Yeah.
Good.
And also, guys, we just watched Eternals, which if you recall back to those trailers, like a lot of the trailers were like, remember the opening 5 minutes when they're in like ancient Mesopotamia?
Yeah.
That's this trailer. Like we really didn't get the full breadth of that story. And
I feel like what this trailer did is it kind of just like leaned into and confirmed stuff that we knew. Like, because the last trailer, you get glimpses of yellow electricity. You're like, that's Electro. You get glimpses of sand and dust moving. You're like, it's probably Sandman. They did their best to like roto out the lizard and just black him out. But you can tell when you frame by frame, you're like, there's a tail on this character. So it's probably the lizard. So nothing was really as secretive as we'd like to think it is. I'm really, the thing I think I'm the happiest about is I'm sure if Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire are in this movie, of course there was temptation to anything.
To show a silhouette or to show like
an ankle, a toe. I'm sure, because everyone would have been like, that's the webbing from the Sam Raimi movie. I'm glad that whether or not they had that temptation, that they did not do it. I don't want to see that in a trailer. Yeah.
We did see, I got to mention this, J.K. Simmons as J. Jonah Jameson looking up in his hat, like the MCU version, right? Our J. Jonah. Yeah, the thing that made me really happy about this trailer also is that it felt maybe the most out of everything we've seen so far. It felt the most Peter-centric. It felt the most like this. Hey, don't forget, this is Peter Parker's story. We love Peter. He's going to be the guy going through this stuff. And Doc Ock is just, that he's there. And Doctor Strange is there. But this is a story about Peter. It opens with him talking about how he loved it when MJ knew for that week. And he felt good. And MJ's great in this, and Ned's in it, and then I'm like, these are the three core young people in these movies so far: is Peter, MJ, and Ned. And I don't think, other than Jamie Foxx and Alfred Molina, I think we're going to get Willem Dafoe, but I'm like, I wouldn't be surprised if they didn't bring back Thomas Hayden Church, if they didn't bring back Reese Ifans, who played the Lizard, Dr. Curtis Connors. I'm like, those would just be full CG characters.
Well, we heard Willem Dafoe's voice, so he's in the movie.
If those other actors are in it, that they got paid nicely to come and do a cameo, but it's like, this trailer makes it seem as though Otto Octavius is the main, like, alternate reality villain that Peter has to like interact with the most, and everybody else can kind of be. I can't see this movie pivoting to be like, and now here's 40 minutes of Norman Osborn.
It's not going to be that. These characters that we're going to see from the other universes are going to be there as like the villain capacity that we've seen so far is just like they're coming in for the big battle. And if we do see Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield, it's going to be for the big battle
at the end.
I don't think they're going to come in and do a big collaboration or anything like that.
And I think if you look at all those villains that are on the roster, Doc Ock is probably the most compassionate, even though he's a villain. And I feel like he is sort of the easiest one of these villains in particular for Peter to kind of get into and to really realize, like, this is not, like, if you keep doing this, your fate will never change. If you decide to take a new course of action, there's potential that we can save your life instead of you dying, in every iteration of this story.
Right. And also I feel like Doc Ock is also, he's not blinded by his hate.
Yeah.
It looks like once he realized that he wasn't the Peter Parker he was looking for, he would have stopped attacking an innocent person, because that's not Doc Ock. Doc Ock is very much driven for that reason. So it looks like there's a scene where they're inside a room together, and they're kind of,
That's the prison cell underneath the Sanctum Sanctorum.
Ah, gotcha.
No idea.
Gotcha.
No idea.
But I'm picking up what you're putting down, Augustine, which is that
Yeah.
Otto Octavius seemed calm. Once he was like, wait, you're not my Peter. He was talking to Peter. He wasn't like this mustache twirling, like, I'm gonna kill you and your whole family. Like, he was just
no matter
like,
who
okay,
you are, kind of, yeah.
I'm smart. What's the situation? Oh, I'm in not my reality. Okay. Like, it seemed like that's where the story could go, which is cool.
Right. And maybe he'll be more of an ally towards the end, because if you look at that big, what we can only assume is the big final battle, he's nowhere.
Where Lady Liberty has a Captain America shield as her new thing that she holds up.
The new book, yeah.
And also, I don't even know if I want to bring this up. I think we all saw that photo of Andrew Garfield that people were saying was real, and then they were saying it was fake, and it has like all this like scaffolding around him, and then you see the scaffolding in this trailer, and you're like, was that actually real, or was that fake?
Yeah,
because you can make an argument that it could be real, but who knows? Yeah. We'll find out in 1 month.
We'll find out in a couple of weeks.
I don't know, but I think it's very important to remain level-headed, and I don't want people, especially fanboys, especially Spider-Man fans, to like get on this movie's case for not delivering what they had imagined for months.
Yeah.
Just
because people might have photoshopped some stuff together really well.
I just want this movie to come out, and I just want. If those were real, I'm pissed that they were leaked, because it's like, honestly, they could change the movie. It's not out yet. You know what I mean? You fellas know, like, things happen in the last minute, and they could even change stuff just to avoid being like, oh, we were never leaked. Like, they could remove entire story elements. It happened last year during COVID. They changed things that were supposed to come out in the Marvel movies and shows based on what was happening in the world. Even the very first Spider-Man movie changed its entire third act that they already had written and were planning to do because of 9/11. So
they changed the whole trailer.
The whole trailer. So I'm mad when Spidey fans are just loving those leaks, if they're leaks, and just being like, look at this, can you imagine? Oh my gosh, this was leaked.
Don't send me any of that shit.
I hate people that do that. I hate people that post that stuff for clicks. I hate people that post it and put their watermark of their name on it. It's really low. Don't fucking do that shit. Can't wait to see the movie. That's all I'll say about that. Hitting me with this shit.
The next 4 weeks are going to be absolute maniacal hell, and I might just take a vacation from Twitter and Instagram.
Yeah, just so I don't have to be. Everybody.
It's weird. Yeah. It's not weird. It's not surprising at all. I'm a little bit surprised at how aggressive this like Spider-Man No Way Home energy has been.
I think it's indicative of a bunch of stuff in fan culture.
Yeah.
Just because it's Spider-Man or Marvel and it's not DC or whatever, it doesn't mean it's not capable of being toxic. I think it's also because young people that are maybe Spider-Man fans, it's kind of been maybe some slow news as of the past couple. I think
a bit for anything that has to do with this stuff right now.
We'll see. We've got exactly 1 month, and the tickets go on sale. I think they said on Sunday or whatever the case may be. So we'll have to get on that. Otherwise, we'll be sitting at the front of the theater for 4 weeks when this movie comes out.
I'm counting on those early screeners, baby.
Well, that's more work for me. Okay. Thank you guys so much for watching. Let us know your thoughts, anything that we might have missed. I'm sure there's an Easter egg somewhere. Someone slipped a nip at some point, and y'all will find it because you're going to go frame by frame on this trailer for the next 24 hours. So let us know in the comments below. Subscribe if you haven't already, and we'll see you guys next month when we talk about the movie. It'll be a good time. Bye.
Bye.